I wanted to do a video in defense of the original high-protein pioneers, like Dr. Atkins and Adele Davis. Now, I'm somebody, people know I'm a vegan, but what people don't understand is I accepted veganism based on totally ethical terms. And I didn't really know about the health benefits of veganism until I started exploring, I started following people that were gerontologists, biological gerontologists on Facebook. One, most notably, I met on LinkedIn. Her name's Maria Konovalenko, Dr. Maria Konovalenko. And she's an anti-aging researcher, and she spoke about protein restriction and how protein restriction aids in longevity. But what I want to point out is the original high-protein pioneers like Adele Davis and Robert C. Atkins were not carnivores. They did not promote a carnivorous diet. In fact, much of their diets were based in low-carbohydrate vegetables. In Dr. Atkins' case, the majority of the diet was low-carbohydrate vegetables. In Adele Davis's case, her diet was a straightforward, junk-free diet, supplemented with things like wheat germ and nutritional supplements like, vitamin A, vitamin D, B vitamins, etc. And of course, Dr. Atkins also promoted supplementation. Dr. Atkins was endorsed quickly by Adele Davis back in the day. Now, what people don't understand is I have had success with the Atkins diet. When I was a teenager, I was very obese from a number of psychotropic medications I was on. And the Atkins diet was what actually turned my health around. Well, the Atkins diet and weightlifting and things of that nature, which helped me get strong enough to lose weight through karate. And actually, that's why I took up karate. I didn't take karate because I needed to learn how to fight. I could always fight. It was just karate was a fun activity for somebody like me that doesn't care for sports that helped me get more active. Now, why am I saying this? Well, there's a concept known as nutritarianism, which was coined by Dr. Joel Fuhrman in his book Eat to Live, or Eat for Life. I think it's Eat to Live, or Eat for Health. I'm sorry, I have it right over there. Now, nutritarianism promotes what's called, it's a much better approach than the Atkins approach. But the Atkins age-defying diet is not a low-carb diet per se. It is similar to Adele Davis's diet, which is a junk-free diet strategically supplemented. Joel Fuhrman's Eat for Health approach, it talks about what he calls macronutrient restriction, restricting protein, fats, and carbohydrates in order to restrict calories. What used to be called, and is more properly called, caloric restriction with optimal nutrition, or CRON for short. Now, this is a proven way to extend life. Now, as many people love to point out, I have gained a little bit of weight after I had experienced a lot of issues in my personal life. I developed heart palpitations and things like that, so I had to reduce my physical activity. And I got a little beefy, okay, and my weight does go up and down depending on my physical activity. Again, I'm not obese, though, due to my shoulder-to-waist ratio. The point is, I have to lose a couple pounds. So I started implementing a nutritarian approach, which is similar to what Atkins promoted in the age-defying diet. In fact, Atkins was initially how I learned about how to look at fruits and vegetables for their antioxidant capacity to their carbohydrate capacity, their carbohydrate ratio. That was the first book I read. In fact, one of the other things in the Atkins age-defying diet that I learned is how milk and dairy, and the proteins in dairy, interfere with the absorption of the antioxidants in tea and berries and things like that. He talked about green tea. So on a whim, I looked it up at PubMed and found out, yes, dairy does deactivates the antioxidants in blueberries and tea and coffee and all sorts of stuff. So if you want to get the antioxidant effects of plant foods, don't eat them with milk. Now, why am I doing this? Well, the reason I'm doing this is the fact that the carnivore diet, they like to use Weston Price, and I like Weston Price too. I do like learning about how primitive people lived. But the problem is with the carnivore approach to health is their arguments are really poor. I mean, if they wanted decent arguments for eating a high-protein omnivorous diet that's properly supplemented, they should look into Dr. Atkins and Adele Davis and other people like this. But instead, what they do is they don't use very much research, or if they do, they take it way out of context. And I'm not doing this to help the carnivores. In fact, as a vegan, I'm an ethical vegan. That is why I'm a vegan, for the animals. Okay, the health benefits are actually just a extra benefit for me. When I became a vegan, I didn't think veganism was healthy, so I followed an Atkins-style diet that was vegan. And many people will go, oh, you can't eat vegan on the Atkins diet, which shows that they don't understand what the Atkins diet actually is. The Atkins diet controls carbohydrate intake. And for the first couple weeks or so, you're in ketosis. It's about 1 week in ketosis, actually. Some people lessen it to about 3 days. But that's the only time where you really ferociously restrict carbohydrates. And if you have half a brain, you will see that the plant foods on the Atkins diet are very abundant, and you can easily eat a carbohydrate-restricted diet, even a ketogenic diet, as a vegan. I wouldn't recommend it because the ketogenic diet isn't as healthy as people might like to think it is, and I wouldn't promote the Atkins diet anymore because there are healthier approaches, such as Dr. Furman's approach, Dr. Greger's approach, and even Dr. McDougall's approach. Now I'm going to leave a lot of links. One is to the great nutrition debate between Dr. Atkins, Barry Sears, and various plant-based physicians like Dr. McDougall. But or I think it's Dean Ornish actually. But what one needs to keep in mind is the fact that the way this goes, see, people that misrepresent these diets. See, Atkins is misrepresented by the vegan community a lot because of what it is. They think it's a meat-centered diet and only a meat-centered diet. But what is really crazy is that the carnivorous community doesn't even mention Dr. Atkins or Adele Davis, who were the first pioneers of a high-protein approach to health. And I'm not promoting a high-protein approach to health. I'm actually promoting, if I was to promote anything, I would promote the concepts of Dr. Greger or Dr. Joel Furman, which promote a nutritarian approach, which is the word that Dr. Furman uses, and I think it's the proper term, because it states that you're eating for nutrient density and restricting calories a little bit to delay cellular respiration and to reduce cellular respiration and slow down the aging process. And it also helps you get these phytochemicals, vitamins, minerals, etc. And with strategic supplementation, it helps too. And that's what I would promote as the optimal way to lose weight and the optimal way to eat. However, Dr. McDougall's approach is also very good. Unfortunately for somebody like me, where my activity dwindled and I was eating the McDougall way and I was packing on muscle pretty good for a while, when I stopped being active and continued eating a high-starch diet, I blew up a little bit. Not a lot, but enough that it was very noticeable. And that's all for this video.